lovers, the moon is a thing of beauty. But to this man it is a deadly curse. When the moon is full, this miserable wretch turns into a hairy, snarling half-man, half-beast that prowls the night, his fangs thirsty for human blood. He is a werewolf.
Hello and welcome to the Werewolf by Night podcast, the show where we talk about Marvel's #1 lycanthrope, Jack Russell, a.k.a. the Werewolf, a.k.a. the Beast, a.k.a. the Shaggy One, also known as Russell Jackson. I'm your co-host, Matt Howell.
I'm Jacob Balcom.
Thanks for joining us this week, listeners. We have a rare Season 3 dyad, just you and me.
Just you and me, I know. We have a ton of guests this season, and they're all awesome. I love every one of them. But yeah, it's nice to have an episode that'll just be kind of streamlined, just you and me shooting the shit, classic style.
Yeah, alone together.
Alone together, as Melanie says.
Yes. Yeah, we've had some great folks on, but we got this little run here on Spider-Woman where I'm just checking a box, kind of. So we're going to kind of fly through this one a little bit here where we're talking about Spider-Woman number 49. But first of all, we want to get some business out of the way. Something fun that I am excited about is we started a Discord server for the community for the show. So, I talked before on the show about the 11 o'clock comics message boards back in the late aughts. And that's where I met people like Andrew Shaw, Rob Haferman, Jason Farrell, just tons of people that are involved with the show, and they became friends, virtual and otherwise. Some I've met in real life, some I haven't yet. So I missed having that whole, just a big message sprawling board of what are you watching, what are you reading, what are you listening to, what's going on, miscellaneous, random, deep thoughts. So it's been super fun. So if you want to find that, go to our Patreon page. Anyone can join it. So go to patreon.com/werewolf by night podcast and find that the link there to join Discord if you use it. It's super easy to use, and I've been having a blast, man. I feel like I'm in my late 20s again.
I know. It's been really fun, and it became fun 24 hours after you set it up. So that made me appreciate the little community that we've built here. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I was super excited. I've just been in heaven. I just told Renee oh my god, I started it and people are joining and people are posting messages. I feel like a kid again. So super cool. And I haven't had to post, I guess I'm officially the moderator as the creator. So I haven't had to post any I haven't had to moderate or post any type of rules, which is awesome. Hopefully we're all old. I guess my thing is if you are a listener of the show and you think that your friend who loves comics would also just like to be on this board, shoot them an invite if you want or whatever. But, I don't want to drop the hammer, but so far nobody's talked about Comicsgate or Black Mermaids or anything weird. So far, everyone's really fucking cool. Just talking about, I'm digging this, I'm digging that, I dig this. That didn't do it for me, but I like this, which is just, I love it.
Yeah, I love it too. But I'm pretty sure that our audience knows who we are at this point, 80-some episodes in. And so the people that know us, that like listening to us, that we've communicated with over the last couple of years, they're all good people, and we're all like-minded. So I really doubt you're going to have to do too much moderating. Quickly, before we get into the issue, I did want to mention, Matt, I came up to Portland, and you and I and Renee and Alicia, we went to see Pavement at Edgefield in Troutdale. And
Still high.
I know, me too. We saw, this is relevant to the show because we went and saw our friend, Rebecca Cole, friend of the show, guest of the show. She's in fucking Pavement, and we saw it. We've known that she's in it, and I've seen pictures, but we saw her, and that was just seriously one of the coolest shows I've ever been to.
Yeah, I was trying to explain. So my wife knows Stephen Malcolmus because I've introduced her to Stephen Malcolmus and the Jicks, who is one of the main songwriter in Pavement. So she's seen Malcolmus several times. She's heard most of Malcolmus's solo work, and she knows he was in Pavement, but she never really heard much of him before. So we got tickets, and she kind of went in blind, and knowing that Malcolmus is a genius, and I had her head turned around. Reunion shows are dicey for some people, but not for these guys. They were amazing. Honestly, I was trying we're sitting in our fancy reserve seats, which were worthless because literally halfway through the first song, everyone stood up. So why did I spend all that money to seat myself? I don't know.
You were like 20 feet from Malcolmus and Rebecca. Mm-hmm. So you had seats. I was standing not too far behind you guys. We were in a weird little corral by the soundboard, and but yeah, we had pretty good seats. I mean, both of us were able to see the show pretty well, and I think that's worth it.
Yeah, I mean, but I was while we're waiting for them to start, listening to this terrible opening band that was just shockingly bad. I was like, you have to realize that this is like one of my favorite bands, and I say that a lot of times, but I mean like it's like Beatles, the Smiths, Pavement for me. Like they're like my third favorite band of all time. Yep. So I was super excited. I missed them on their 2010 reunion tour. Almost all my friends went. I was just kind of being a dad, so I wasn't in touch with a lot of those guys. And come to find out after the fact, like they all went and were like, "Oh my god, they were fucking amazing. They sound as good as they did 15 years ago." And I was like, "Fuck, that's never gonna happen again." And it did. And they sounded fucking amazing. Yeah. So I was still just fucking floating the next day. I'm still floating. Yeah. I think the last time I was this excited about seeing a thing was like when Doug March of Built to Spill did a Tree People reunion, and they played at the Doug Fir, and it sounded like they had not skipped a beat since they broke up in '92 or whatever the fuck that was. Yep. Amazing. And I saw one of my other favorite bands, the Swirlies, this art rock, noise rock band, play Doug Fir, and they sounded exactly like they did in 1990. It was amazing. Those times are few and far between for me, and that did not disappoint. It exceeded every expectation, and Rebecca was so cool, and I just kept looking at her, and I posted some pictures on my Instagram. It's like, Rebecca Cole is in Pavement, and I'm seeing them. Like, humanity has peaked now. Like, we're done.
Yep.
We're done.
No, it's all downhill from there, but it was a good peak.
Yeah. Great peak.
Yeah, so many cool things about that show. I've made myself a playlist. I went and found the set list. I've been looking at all the set lists for all the shows, and so I made myself a playlist of that set list that we saw, and I've been listening to that, just kind of reliving it a little bit.
I saw that. It's probably not Malcolmus. I don't know who runs their actual Instagram account, but someone from Pavement posted, I saw there's an Unslayed Tracks where people were just posting a playlist on Spotify of music we have not played yet on this tour. Which will be changing and evolving with each show day, because we are going to play some of this stuff. Super cool. I think the oldest song they played was from '89. Yeah,
it was something off of
Sleigh Tracks.
It's Sleigh Tracks, right? Or is it
Perfect Sound Forever?
It's Perfect Sound Forever is what it's technically off of.
Okay. But yeah, wild, man. So I wasn't even in high school when that freaking EP came out. That's how old that was.
I was 12.
Oy, oy, oy. Okay. So, yeah, we loved it. Great times. I'm wearing the shirt right now. Actually, first time
I see that.
Wore my Pavement shirt. We have voicemail if you want to give us a call. You can call us at 971-220-5865. That's 971-220-JUNK. Leave us a voicemail. Let us know what you think about the books we're reading, or what else you're reading that's not werewolf related. It could be anything. Let us know what's on your mind. What do you think about Pavement? Better be good.
Better be good.
Hello there, werewolf crew. This is Russell from Tomes of Evil, and I just wanted to give my thoughts real quick on this 2-part Moon Knight story. I think that without a shadow of a doubt, this is the best thing Jack Russell has ever been in. It's got so many things that I love. Obviously, it's got a werewolf. It's got Moon Knight. I'm a huge Moon Knight fan. And it has a satanic cult, which I have an affinity for. Maybe it was growing up raised Baptist, and I'm a little heathen, and I gravitate towards the dark. Thankfully, no longer beholden to the Baptist way of life. Yeah, it's like, I don't want to say it doesn't have any camp or cheesiness to it, but it has a different flavor of camp to it. It's hard to look back at this story with 2022 eyes and not think a satanic cult is a little bit campy. But at the time, this had to be some scary shit. I really love this story. I'm not crazy about Jack Russell's look. To me, he looks more feline than canine, but it's a great story and great covers, and they would eventually kind of do a reverse of that classic Jack Russell cover with, the black and just see his eyes and his mouth. They did a reverse of that in the 2006 Moon Knight run, where you're looking at Moon Knight out of Jack Russell's mouth. That's really neat. I also wanted to say that I recently recommended you guys the Wolfman remake because it was free on Tubi. And not one day after I said that, and Matt was nice enough to add it to the list, it's gone. It's on Peacock. Peacock's not that expensive, but still. If you guys don't want to watch that for the bonus show, I understand. I think that movie gets more hate than it deserves. And lastly, I just watched a documentary that I had told Matt about a while ago. It is now free on Tubi. It's called American Werewolves, and it's done by a production house called Small Town Monsters, which usually do cryptid-themed documentaries. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. Some of the stories in this are actually pretty gripping. Some of them are silly, obviously. That's kind of what you get with these cryptid documentaries. But I think it'd be interesting if you guys watched a documentary about werewolves for the bonus show. Anyway, I'm not going to overstay my welcome, but thanks, guys. I love the show, and you might be getting gamma irradiated in a couple months, so stay tuned.
Hey, Russ, thanks for calling in. I had forgotten you mentioned that documentary to me. I'm down for that. I would love to watch a doc to mix it up.
Yeah, me too. That sounds great. That's a great idea, Russ.
Cool. So the issue this week is Spider-Woman number 49, and this is cover dated April 1983. And I was noticing, Jacob, that the previous date, when I was updating my little form I use for notes, said February was the previous date of the last issue. So this was a bi-monthly? Have we talked about that? Because I feel like that has not been discussed.
Yeah, I thought so, but oh yes, because we in the scan that you and I have, they have the letters and they have the thing. So it talks about the book is bi-monthly.
Okay. Which makes my anguish over the reading order even more starker relief.
That doesn't make it. I thought that would make it a little better. It does, right?
No, because this issue came out the same time Moon Knight 30 did.
Oof.
So it's the fact that someone like a month later wrote in and said, "Hey, when does this happen?" It's just
You sure that guy wasn't like time traveling you?
Might have been me.
So I'm just saying, it might have been you. Yeah. Future you did
That's
that.
That's Kang me, as opposed to the whatever the Egyptian version of me is at time travels. Okay, so we are in the last couple issues here, and Jacob has been very clear about, Matt made this reading list. Some of this stuff is very minimal Jack Russell. I'm literally just checking boxes at some points here, but I also decided to keep this in once I realized how little Jack was in here because I've been enjoying Spider-Woman. So
me too.
I thought, let's just ride this out. It gets canceled at 50. So he does make appearances in 48, 49, and 50. Let's just read them. Plus, we love Brian Postman. His work in the last couple issues has been awesome, and Cinti's writing has been cool. So yeah, I was like, let's just press on. I could, change the path here, but I'm with it. So, this cover here is by Brian Postman with inks by Sam De La Rosa, who we talked about last week, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a great image here. We have there's this big clock motif that comes up in this issue. So they're inside the gutty works of a clock, and they're fighting. And it's Spider-Woman they are Tigra and Spider-Woman, and Tigra is leaping down in her bikini, and it's complementary colors with her awesome orange fur. And she's attacking Spider-Woman, who has her full costume on, even though she tore her hair off last issue and jumped out of her suit, basically just to have like a jumpsuit when she faced Gypsy Moth. So we'll find out what's up with that inside. But it says at the bottom, the trouble with Tigra. I've heard people in my life say Tigra, and I have refused to say it.
Yeah, I refuse to say it. I don't care if
I don't say Magneto either.
No, I don't. So yeah, no, it's Tigra, obviously. Yeah, this is a cool cover. I mean, yeah, we find out later on, that she gets a different costume and wig and stuff like that. But I also thought like, oh, they're not going to show on the cover like a new look for Spider-Woman unless they have, the words new look on the cover, because it's 1983, Jim Shooter era. We've talked at length about that. I really like this cover. Aside from, I don't know, Tigra's Tony the Tiger fur color just kind of threw me a little bit in this issue. I don't remember her being colored like this before.
Isn't this how she's colored in West Coast Avengers?
Yeah, I guess you're right. I was thinking more old school, like giant-sized creatures, Tigra. So I'm sure I should be used to that.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. All I can think of is Tony the Tiger.
So just to get this out of the way, I was raised Catholic. I'm like the most prudish, straight arrow, boring, vanilla fucking dude ever in the world. But everybody has a kink for Tigra, right? Like everybody.
I mean, I would assume so, just a little bit.
Like she has a very fine coat.
Yes.
She's not like a long hair. That'd be gross.
Like
she's
not. No,
fine silky coat. And I honestly remember we're not kink shaming is my point.
Not at all.
I remember like in some West Coast Avengers, I think she like kissed Wonder Man or someone, and he remarked how her tongue felt like a cat's tongue. He's like, oh God, her tongue's so rough. I was like, okay, that's kind of gross. A
little bit.
When you extend it that far. But the idea of a very sexy, beautiful, powerful, strong woman having a super fine orange fur and having cat-like reflexes and strength is kind of sexy.
Yeah, it's kind of sexy. I think every man and woman and everyone would agree with you on that.
Okay, good. Even straight women should be into it.
Totally. No, I think that's a universal thing.
Did at this point, like you were saying, they just kept a regular suit on and didn't do like the all new look for Spider-Woman. They knew this had the axe at this point, right? This isn't like a 11th hour.
I don't know. I mean, after reading this issue and reading like the like bullpen bulletin and like the little blurbs at the end and the letters, like this sounds like in issue 49 that, people are so excited that Ann Nesenti's on the book. People are loving Brian Postman's.
Yep.
Because this is the letters that we get at the end of this are 448 because this is a bi-monthly book.
Yeah. So
yeah, it's really, really cool. It seems like everyone's really digging it. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know if this is just, I mean, the direct market had appeared. That was a large part of sales now. It's not all just newsstand. But what we found in the past is that, comics, getting the actual circulation and sold amounts of comics is always a couple months out. And so I feel like maybe this was something where the sales came back and they're like, oh, no. Like this is done. I don't know. I don't think it was a planned thing.
Okay.
I would love to get corrected on that in any way. I'm going to have to, maybe I'll go through my back issues of Back Issue and see if maybe in one of in a Tigra issue or something like that, or a Spider-Woman issue, we may be able to get a little bit more info on that. But reading the back of this comic, it didn't sound like this was a title ready to get the axe at issue 50.
Right. Or maybe Ray or Saren or someone know.
Yeah, exactly. Ray should know this.
Yeah, because I didn't send you issue 50 yet, but while the story wraps up very obviously narratively, at the bottom there's like just kind of a weird typewritten like EC Comics typewriter like, we regret to inform you this is the final issue.
See, I just think that goes to say, even though I know that you've told me, you've kind of explained issue 50 to me, that it's kind of almost a greatest hits type of thing, and just like everyone's in there, and but it also has like a flashy like photo cover and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck, we're gonna talk about it next week, so we'll save that for that. But yeah, I'll do a little more research, and hopefully on our episode for Spider-Woman 50, we'll get the straight dope, the real dirt.
Okay. Yeah, I was just trying to understand like what we're in for here with these 3 issues, because, again, I could have bailed and changed our reading order, but we loved Spider-Woman so much, I thought we should just do it.
And specifically Ann Nocenti Spider-Woman. I mean, we loved that last issue.
Yeah.
Like, it was just so cool. It's just so cool to see an industry vet who is just universally loved, and to read their first couple stories where they're just swinging for the fences, just trying their hardest to get everything cool on the page, and that's exciting. So I don't mind. I don't mind that Jack is slight in these couple of issues, because they've been a blast to read.
Cool. Let's dig in.
Yeah. So the title of our story on the opening page is Runaway. Cast of creators are pretty much just the same as we had last issue. They really stay pretty consistent. It's Ann Nocenti scripter, Brian Postman penciler, Sam De La Rosa inker, Rick Parker letterer, Christy Scheel colorist, Mark Grunwald editor, and Jim Shooter editor-in-chief. So this is the most we're going to see of Jack this whole issue, is this pretty cool giant full-page spread. It's full-page illustration right where we left off at the end of last issue, with Jess looking on as Jack transforms in a cage. I kind of fucking loved Nocenti's opening narration. It's quite good. I just have to read the whole thing. There have been 216 full moons during the last 6 years of Jack Russell's lifetime. He doesn't remember a single one of them. Imagine your fingers curling in anticipation of another's throat. Imagine your limbs aching to prowl, your senses opening up for the hunt. Imagine a powerful pull reaching deep to rip forth a rolling liquid howl that brings your own guts up with it. Such is the curse of the werewolf. That's just EC Comics. That's just straight up like fucking like I would expect the story to be drawn by Johnny Craig or something. Like, it's just, how fucking cool is that? I love Ann Nocenti.
Yeah, that was great prose there. Definitely one of the highlights of the issue for me.
Yeah, I mean, I thought this opening page was so fucking cool. It totally, makes going through this issue more than worth it for me.
Yeah, and we don't, I don't know how much stock to put into this stuff, but she basically tells us here that he is 24. Because
that's
his
true.
First full moon of his 18th year was the start of his curse. But yeah, that art there, that splash page is gorgeous. Him throwing his head back, this just kind of explosion of white around him, just like him howling in pain and writhing. Gorgeous stuff. Could have used more of Jack in this issue, but it's still worth talking about.
It is, but this is all we're going to get of Mr. Russell. But please stay tuned. This issue is great, and we love talking about Spider-Woman.
Yeah. So on the next page, we get this little kind of series here where Spider-Woman is, by the way, her glider whatevers have been getting bigger and bigger as she's moved along. Like, they're huge now. Like, they're full-on gliders. Like,
she's basically a hang glider. Her costume is a hang glider.
She's walking away from Jack in this beautiful panel where she's half in shadow and half in the light. He's growling behind bars, and she's thinking, I can't watch anymore. Poor cursed man. To be a slave to the moon. She's one huntress you can't hide from. The next panel, these are very long horizontal panels. There's this big, huge growl, and it's this gradient. We've seen a lot of these, where it's a gradient from yellow to orange to red to magenta, where it says growl. And she's walking away from it, not even noticing it, thinking, I feel so helpless. What? His howl stopped. And the background, like the wall, essentially, of these, of where she's walking, is like these ink splatters, like very Sienkiewicz.
Very Sienkiewicz.
And so he stops suddenly, and she's like, wait a minute, he stopped. What the fuck? And she turns around and looks at through the bars, and there's a chair where he was manacled to the floor and the ceiling, and he's gone. She says, no, it can't be. And she busts down with her super strength the bars. She says, he couldn't have gotten free. This kicks it all. The odds against this happening are too high. Gypsy Moth, Daddy Longlegs, and now the werewolf. Somebody took them all. Somebody's playing games with my sanity, she thinks, as she is looking over the chair that Jack was sitting in. So, yeah. I don't know if we mentioned this before. Like, it kind of slipped by the wayside with that last episode we had with Ray, but, like, Gypsy Moth did disappear. It wasn't just her waking up and splitting in a crowd of punks. She literally disappeared, much the way that Daddy Longlegs just disappeared. So when we were laughing, I'm like, someone wrote a letter to the effect of saying, how could Daddy Longlegs have rolled out of this chain link fence that he'd been rolled up in like a burrito without her hearing it? He didn't. He just disappeared.
Yeah. As
did Gypsy Moth, as did Jack just now.
See, so Anne is planning something.
Yes.
Like, this is like I really feel like I know she didn't know the book was being canceled as she's writing issue 49. I mean, it seems like Anne had a blueprint, had like a roadmap for where she wanted to take this book.
Yeah, definitely.
Which is, it's fucking bummer, man. So yeah, on the next page, we cut to Jess and Lindsay getting out of a car.
Sorry, before you get into this page, we do have a modified set of rules for season 3, and one of them is if Jack is essentially a glorified cameo. I can't even think of a better example than him being on a splash page and then disappearing in a poof of smoke
for the rest of the issue. I'm drinking to that.
Drink to that. I'm having more of that delicious Westward whiskey.
Oh, that was good. I'm glad. Thank you for sharing some of that with me when I was at your house, because that was really fucking good.
Yeah, next time you're up, we'll crack into that rum barrel aged one.
Oh man, yeah. Speaking my language now. Okay, yeah. So on the next page, we cut to Jess and Lindsay. So they've been driving to San Francisco, and it says, the narration at the top says, it takes the entire trip from Los Angeles to San Francisco for Lindsay McCabe, confidant of Jessica Drew, the Spider-Woman, to get her friend to unwind. Finally, then they get home to David, and David owns this building, right?
He's like the manager.
He's the manager. Okay, yeah. So we get he's mowing the lawn, and he's like, "Hey, the girls are back," and then he just makes the biggest rookie boyfriend mistake of all fucking time. He's like, "Oh no, you cut your hair. Why? Is that style?" Like, is that style?
Maybe he's an exchange student. I don't know. That felt very like Japanese English, like
maybe, I don't know.
English,
but it was, I was just like, God damn, dude, why? Like, you should know better than that.
Is that style?
And is that style? And then she's like, easy now, David. It'll grow out. My hairstyle is the least of my worries.
Can I tell you something?
And then, yes.
Just based on every artist rendition of Jessica Drew that I've seen so far, if she came back with a buzz cut like G.I. Jane, I would not say word one.
No.
Like, your hair's different. I like it.
Yep.
Use your spider weirdness to use my body like a parkour court, please.
Well, and I'm pretty sure that happened in the gutters between panel 2 and 3, because there's a tiny narration that says a few hours and kisses later.
Just kisses.
Just kisses. This is a code approved comic, but we know what really went down. And so David kind of comes to his senses. He's like, "Hey, sorry I gave you a hard time about your hair. You still look great." And she's like, "After LA, this is like finally being washed ashore." And he's like, "What was so wild about LA?" And she's like, "Well, there's the things, And she's not telling him anything yet. And he's like, "You and your secrets. I should hire you to spy on yourself that way." And then they look terrified that the phone rings in that panel, which I think is
Jim Rockford.
It is. It's basically Rockford calling. And she answers, and it's just like, "Yep, easy. Yep, 10 minutes." And then she jumps up and she's like, "Got a job, a paying one. Listen, when I come back, I'll have a surprise for you." And it says him with a Yeah. And with a parting look that promises treasures, Jessica leaves. She's a treasure. I'll agree with that.
Just to be clear, that was Jim Rockford's answering message coming on. He doesn't call people. He gets called.
He doesn't call. He gets called by bill collectors, Amway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is the first time you met David, I think, since you didn't read the Claremont run.
Yeah, I didn't read the Claremont run.
He's a relatively new character, actually. So,
yeah, David seems cool.
Yeah, I think that, again, I skimmed those last few issues before Daddy Longlegs, but I feel like they kind of used him for this like kind of ham-handed way of like, oh, and somehow you're related to the Yakuza and the Silver Samurai's here now. Damn it! Everything was so fun before the samurai got involved.
Oh, okay.
But I might be wrong, but I think that he was a connection that made the Silver Samurai show up.
Okay.
So she shows up for this gig, and it's a big, fancy mansion with big Doric columns and all this jazz. And it's a most impressive facade. And a stiff butler introduces her in, and she meets the Silks, Samantha Silk and her husband Henry. And they want her to find their these are foster child, right?
Yes.
And so, Jess is like meeting them. She's like, wow, they're very chiseled, expensive faces of the rich. They look like they stepped out of a magazine. Like, so this is Mickey. This is our foster child. We've been his foster parents for 3 years now, which is a long time. Mm-hmm. And honestly, if you are a foster child for 3 years and you're not being adopted by that family, you're probably not going to get adopted by anybody. Statistically speaking.
Jeez, brutal.
Just being honest.
Yeah.
While they're showing her around the mansion, they're saying, hey, there were some incidents. He was present at certain scenes, at the scene of a fire or when there's explosions. And Jessica's like, okay, so he's accident prone. Like, it's a little beyond that. He's simply a master of mayhem. Oh, the police. Oh, the embarrassment. So they're taking her up to his room. And they look at his room, and it looks like a teenage boy's room in 1983. It's like sports, comics, rock and roll. Seems pretty healthy enough. And sure enough, he has posters of like athletics, gymnasts and stuff, and superheroes and rock bands. And he's got a hi-fi and a stack of records and a catcher's mitt and a ball. Like, he is literally the All-American boy. Even on his nightstand, he has a football and framed baseball cards.
Just
and a model airplane. Everything screams heteronormative boy.
Yeah, I just like that one of the posters just says rock and roll.
Yeah, I love that one. That must be Kiss.
Yeah,
they're so interesting.
They are. All they care about is rock and roll.
All night.
All night, even. So yeah, on the next page we realize. So the Silks kind of recount the story as of Mickey playing baseball with his high school team. Mrs. Silk is like, then the last incident, we pieced the story together from the other children on the high school team. And then it moves to this kind of cool sequence that I'm going to have to look for the issue, but I do believe this is almost a direct reference to an issue of Strange Sports Stories drawn by Carmine Infantino. It's at least very similar. Yeah, it's DC. It's very similar in a way.
Sports Stories?
Have you not read this series?
Because it's fucking me right now?
Because it's fucking amazing. It is this short series.
How long did this run?
Oh, well, I think it was in Showcase. It was in Showcase for like 4 issues. And then I think it had 4 or 5 issues of its own run. It's like Twilight Zone and sports meet.
Kind of makes me angry.
I would agree with you, but I actually really love it. I do own some of the issues. They're in, long boxes.
You need to loan me some.
Oh, they're great. They're so great. There's one of them, I think, that was in, I have a DC special, one of the Square Bounds, because I collect the DC Square Bound stuff from the 70s. There was one that was just all Carmine Infantino. And I think this is one, or at least it's very in the same style of this. And so it's really cool. It's basically just, Mickey at bat getting a strike, then people yelling, hit it, Silk. And then he cracks it and it's gone. But the words that are coming from the crowd they're not in balloons. No. They're in this kind of stylized script. and it's just over. And this is something that, and I know this has been done a lot, but at the time I feel like Infantino was kind of experimenting a little bit. I don't know. I mean, I think it's at least if not a reference, it's at least inspired by, because it's exactly,
it's inspired by.
Yeah, it's but it, I mean, it immediately was like muscle memory for me. Like I'm just like, oh yeah, strange sports stories, which are, I mean, they're not good, but they're hilarious. Like it's like the ghost in the infield and stuff Jesus like that. It's fucking rad.
Steve, right one. Hit it, Silk. It's going. It's going. Whiz. It's gone.
Yeah, but I love it. I don't know. I love the layout. I love. I don't know. I thought it was a kind of a cool little thing, because it's just done for this little like sports flashback thing.
Right.
That's the only reason why it just. I don't know. Maybe I'm reaching. I might be reaching.
Well, they're so popular.
Yeah.
Is the shade on Silk's, like from the brim of his hat, is that Zipatone, or is that what is that?
I don't think that's Zipatone. I just think it's kind of a speckled shading of some kind.
They pulled out all the stops on this kid here.
Yeah, I know, right?
He's a trip.
Yeah, he is a trip.
So on the next page, he says, "I did it, guys!" as he starts to run the bases, and his batting helmet's flying off, and like little long shot, like ladyfinger explosions are going on his head, and then kablam! The sky's falling. Help! All hell breaks loose. Like explosions, fire. He's running along. Crunk, run, kazerk. The bat lifts up and snaps in half. Both the bats do. The ball comes flying back at the people in the dugout. The world's blowing up. It's the bomb. It's war. And this is all like reds and purples. Like, again, like not word balloons, like balloon letters. It's so
balloon
weird.
Letters. Yeah.
And then this bottom panel here, we just have this one lone image of the kid. Is his name Michael or Mickey?
Mickey.
Mickey Silk with his white hair, like Quicksilver, just looking forlornly. And then it says, "No one knows what happened or why, only that it was utter chaos." And there's just a burning mass of something with this huge plume of smoke coming out, and he's running through the air like the Flash. I don't know what the fuck's going on. But then we cut from the flashback back to the parents. This time he ran away. The police caught him, even handcuffed him. He was acting so peculiar, but he escaped. "We heard you were the best, Miss Drew. Bring our boy home." Why? Have you seen The Omen? I've seen The Omen. Why would you have this kid come back? Everywhere he goes, fires or explosions happen. Cats turn inside out. They've had him 3 years. It's not a phase. This is not a phase. This kid is the fucking devil.
Yeah.
Fucking Charles Xavier. This kid needs to be put down now.
Damn, that is a hot take.
Well, you know what? I'm all about MAGA. I'm tired of America. Let's make America safe again, make it strong again, make it all the things again.
Oh, it's finally happened.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Well,
I'm sending a hat to you, by the way.
Okay.
Just sign for it.
Well, I guess this is. Don't
worry. The Patreon supporters paid for it. Save America pack, actually.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, there you go.
Kanye thanks you. I think.
Yeah.
John Voight thanks you.
Well, that's the most important one, right? Everyone cares most about what he thinks. Yeah. All right. So the next page.
By the way, folks, just before you start, Jacob, this is a slight ass fucking story. Like, this is a Brian Postman flex. Nacenti does her job, but this is there's whole pages where I have like 3 words for notes.
Yeah. I mean, Postman does a great job, and I like what Nacenti does. This isn't as strong as the last issue. No. It is pretty slight. I feel like Nacenti, like the first page was written amazingly, and the rest is just like, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So on this next page, we switch to Mickey on the run. He passes by a couple of like Wall Street wise guys, like talking about the prime rate being down, but Mickey is kind of freaking out, and so he's like, "Those people, they're talking about me." And then he turns and he sees these other people, and they're just talking. There's just a bunch of dudes talking about getting together and playing cards. And Mickey's like, them too, they're after me. And I can't ever go home again. It was too bad this time. The worst it's ever been.
Meth.
Yeah, no. It is a hell of a drug. And then one of them goes into a phone booth, and Mickey's like, they're calling the cops. And so he runs away. He hears like, what's that thumping? It's my heart. It's going to burst. Everyone can hear it. But it's actually, there's like a marching band that's going by. And so he runs away like right into the marching band thinking, I'll hide in the music. And which I laughed about at first and thought it was funny. And then I was like, oh yeah, this is a child having a mental health crisis. That I was like, I kind of feel like an asshole now.
I thought you were like, oh, it's the Sid Barrett story.
Yeah, it is the Sid Barrett story.
Just run into the music.
Yeah.
As my mind collapses.
No, that worked for him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
And so, Mickey goes to hide in their music. And then we get a pretty scary next page. I got to say, I was so glad you had this next page.
Barumpa-ump.
Barumpa-ump.
I love the way they display music here. So he runs in the middle of this brass section of this marching band, and his mind hits the skids. And he has this panel of him just going, oh, with his... He's slack-jawed, and he's like just, punched in the face by Tuba, which Tuba does. But he's kind of hallucinating the way that Angar the Screamer or whatever makes people hallucinate. So like what we see is his point of view, and there's a tuba player going oompa oompa oompa, but he's like green, and one eye's pumping out like popping like a big fucking bubble of slime, and he's greenish hued, and the tuba's kind of getting menacingly like organic. And the kid's freaking out. It's like his hallucinations are so real. Reality buckles and must get out of their way. He starts sweating bullets, and we get a push in even closer on this tuba player. His face is getting more menacing, more cartoonish, more bizarre, and more green. His fingers are getting longer and spindlier. And then the kid starts like holding his hands to his head. He's still handcuffed, and there's a little pops like finger snaps, or how we call those little 4th of July things that are like. You know what I'm talking about? The little
TNT pops.
TNT pops.
Yeah.
And it says, and then we see that somehow the pop snapper on his head is reflected in the legs of the marching band. So they start going pop, snap. Did he just break all their ankles and like shins?
Yeah, I just saw this as just like Achilles tendons popping, and this was a horror show for me.
It is horrifying.
It's fucking horrifying. So he completely cripples the entire marching band. The
final panel of this page is a long vertical panel or horizontal panel of them. It's like a Birth of a Nation, or like Gone with the Wind, when you just see like that long field of all the wounded soldiers. But it's 2/3 white, just negative space, and the bottom third is just like marching band members on their backs and stomachs, just as far as the eye can see. It's been absolute slaughter of them.
Jesus, yeah, this is a fucked up page.
Weird.
On the next one, we see that Mickey is still running. He attempts to eat some food he found in a trash can, but spits it out.
It's literally garbage.
It's literally garbage. And it's such a sad panel. Like, he's crying. He's spitting out the garbage that he just pulled out of the trash can. Like this is Nascenti, though. This is the kind of, she goes for the dark street level stuff. Yeah. So this fits. This fits her in.
Albinos?
I would assume not. But she does kind of put through Mickey through his paces. And so he says, the buses, maybe the station. There must be somewhere to hide here. And then we cut to a bus outside that just says special, which I liked. And it says, we are. Outside the station, a bus pulls in from New York. It was a long journey, but the riders were all kept entertained by one extraordinary passenger.
New York City. Get a rope.
Oh man, those ads
did not age well. Those Pace Picante ads.
No, they did not. They really didn't.
Lynching was way funnier like 20 years ago.
I guess so. I guess it was much better in the early to mid 90s. Yeah, God, oof, rough.
People say we made no progress.
No,
I'm just saying, lynching was still like a joke for fucking commercials for salsa.
Oof.
15 years ago.
Yeah.
Incremental change.
That's right. That's all we can hope
1 degree
for.
shifts. That's all we can.
Yeah.
Yeah. I call them Brazil nuts.
You're just out there this episode. You really are.
Well, I'm just saying. My grandma doesn't call them Brazil nuts.
That's
something.
oh boy.
What do you call them?
I'm moving on.
Oh, you're afraid to call them Brazil nuts because you're okay. You're not an agent of change. You're not an ally.
You are.
Okay. No, I see what's going on here.
You are.
The real Jacob showing himself.
You are pushing the meter this episode, my friend.
Okay. So the bus doors open up and a familiar feline character steps off, and she says, "Hello, beautiful San Francisco. Are you ready for 130 pounds of pure tigra?" So her thoughts continue as she's wandering around. She tried to model on the East Coast, and she was too exotic, quote unquote, for them. She's hoping the West Coast appreciates her unique looks. She decides to stash her stuff into a pay locker and check out the town. And the pay locker she chooses happens to be where the freaky kid is. So he comes bursting out, knocking her over, and sprinting off. She says, "That white mouse has nudged the curiosity of this cat." And then she comes and tackles him from behind and says, "He's down at the 50-yard line."
She's quipping.
I love Tigra.
Yeah, she's great, and I really liked her in this period in the 80s, which I really think is where she had the most appearances. Honestly,
yeah.
I mean, I know she's
still around.
Well, she was. Yeah, I don't know if it. Well, yeah. She was in. She's in Jed McKay's Moon Knight run.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's super cool. I was really excited to see her there. So yeah, on the next page, Tigra has him on the ground now and says, "Easy now, don't wet your pants or anything." He's like, "I was just playing a game, lady, honest. I didn't do nothing. Help, they're after me. They're all after me." And she's like, "So what's with the cuffs? You playing Junior Houdini?" And all of them, huh? Then she looks in his eye.
So wait, can we talk about this before we move on?
Okay.
Because I read this the same way.
Yeah.
And then I thought, we should talk about this on the show because there's this mechanic here. Word balloon order is a very sticky prospect, and it always has been and probably always will be. Like in this instance, you're supposed to read hers on the upper left, then his on the right below it, and then switch to hers on the right, and then switch back to him on the left, and then back to her on the right to have the order make sense.
Oh, I know. It's not good.
Of word balloons are so complicated to me.
Well, I think it shows how complicated, because when you just switch them up a tiny bit, like in this panel, chaos reigns.
Yeah, but I've been reading comics for I'm almost 47. I've been reading them for 40 years, and it doesn't get better. It's so weird to me, outside of arrows, that it's so complicated.
Yeah, it is complicated. Well, especially in a static panel like this, where there's no movement, there's nothing that's going to indicate. So yeah, you are kind of just floating in space. But I also think that the balloon, the layout isn't maybe as good as it should have been.
Yeah, fair enough.
So we get a really cool the next panel is just this kind of horrific close up of Mickey's eye, and we see Tigra in his eye. And the narration says, "Tigra looks to his eyes for the flicker that betrays. She knows eyes don't lie." Which made me think, false teeth speak false truths, Bob.
The oldies are not goodies.
The oldies are not goodies. So then she realizes she trusts them. She says, "Oh, okay, I'll help you." And he's like, "Man, I hate these cuffs. I wish." And then suddenly we see more of those pop, 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 pop. And Tigra ducks for cover. She's like, "Shots, or more like fireworks. Where's it coming from?" And then they kind of explode his cuffs off. And she just thinks this is like a one in a million shot. She's like, "Wow, how lucky. That was crazy. I can't believe that blew your cuffs off." And then she's saying look, San Fran isn't my turf, so tell me where we can hide you. And then for the bottom two panels, we cut back to the apartment, and Jess is getting home, and she's telling David about the job. And then she's kind of leaning on him, holding him, very sexy. And she says, "But first, David, I'll show you a little secret."
Yeah, on the next page, she opens her trench coat and reveals that she's wearing Spider-Woman's outfit and says, "Ta-da!" He's like, "Huh, you bought a Spider-Woman costume." Like, "No, silly, I'm the one and only." He's like, "Oh, I see," and he looks horrified. Like he probably just peed a little bit.
Yeah,
And
he does look really horrified.
She like puts her head on his shoulder and is like nestling up to him. She's like, "The closer we get, the more I wanted to tell you." What a relief. And he's visibly he's not shaken, he's shaking.
Yeah, he's freaking out.
Oh. And so she's like, "Yeah, with my hair short, I'll have to start wearing this wig again." So she has the old school wig from way back where she, hit herself. He's like, sitting on the couch. And this cool middle panel here, she's like, still fits. And she looks awesome in this like medium close up. And she starts to climb out the window. "I have to go to work, but when I get back, I'll show you some of my tricks." Again, in my mind, getting a little dirty, like, holy shit, she's going to wear the outfit and do some weird stuff with me. And we see this last panel that's horizontal. She's soaring off, gliding it towards the full moon. And he's looking out after her in silhouette saying, "Tricks?" So
I love that last panel.
he's not as thrilled as I would be. I would be fucking like doing handstands and shit and like doing fucking with flossing and shit. On woohoo, yeah, Spider-Woman's my girlfriend.
Yeah, no, he is not reacting that way. His mind's been blown, not in a good way. He is not happy. And I do love that last panel where everyone's in silhouette and we see her kind of flying through. It's really, really cool.
Dave is a turd. He's a turd,
Yeah.
man.
He might just not be ready for Jess. I don't know if he's
Get out of the way, then.
enough. Yeah, get out of the
Shit,
way.
or get off the pot.
Get out of the way from Matt.
I'm ready.
Yeah. So meanwhile, across town, Tigra and Mickey are hiding out in a clock tower because that's cool.
Yeah.
And Mickey is explaining that weird shit always happens around him because he's jinxed. And yeah, Tigra tries to comfort him by saying, like, "Listen, being a freak isn't all that bad. Look at me. I'm doing okay." And Mickey says, "You're different. You're great. Everybody must love you. But me, I'm just tired." And then he just kind of, says an hour later and he falls asleep. And then Tigra, not super sensitive, she says, "At least you sleep well, my little nutcase. You're a real trooper." Then she's like, "A noise? What was that?" And says suddenly the hair stands up on end all down her feline spine. She says, "What sharp teeth the knight has." I actually love that profile shot of her.
Love this row.
Fucking rad. Like this, this whole row is great. And then we see that the giant clock tower that I guess has a pendulum is swinging towards her.
Yep. Things get a little weird here, like a little like Batman 66 kind of with like the giant clock gutty works and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So on the next page, she's running towards Mickey because the pendulum has started hitting the bell. So it's saying bong, 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 bong. She says, "Mickey, wake up. Things are going crazy." And she's trying to make him stop it. So it's like he's doing this in his sleep. She says, "Stop it, stop it." And we have this weird panel where we see what he dreams. And it's these pink demons, like 4 demon heads around him. And he's down in like blue, like on his all fours, like cradling his head in his mind in a pink cloud. And he says, "Nightmares, always nightmares," as he's weeping through seemingly like blind eyes where there's no pupils. And we get a cool panel of Spider-Woman soaring over the city. It says, "Meanwhile, as dusk descends to smear the city's edges," and she thinks, "No leads, no clues, just a city full of people. What goes on in countless windows, countless rooms?" We see that trolley going up the hill, and she's looking at that. And we see an old woman sleeping, and she has this whole soliloquy going on. And then she sees these lovers making out in the park. She's like, "He's probably curled up in a park somewhere. I could look for empty, gutted buildings in the poorer sections of town. There are a lot of great hideouts." Kind of a weird page. Some of this is just kind of stretching to me. Like it's a short story that got expanded to a full issue.
Yeah, I know. Especially in this middle part, it gets
Yeah.
bloated. it gets bloated yet also slight somehow, and which is a trick. That is definitely a trick. Even though I did really dig the some of the art on this page, on this next one actually. That first panel, holy shit! It's like her upside down, hearing the bong bong of the clock, and she's like, clock chimes. And what a cool fucking panel that is!
The lighting on her and the definition, gorgeous.
Yeah, I mean, this really is Postman and De La Rosa's inks. Like, God, it's their issue. I mean, they make the issue good. Like, I love Ann Nesenti, but this is not her best story. I'm assuming.
No, but I mean, they made her look like 21st century Iron Fist, like in that, like you know what I mean, like with the mask and everything. Like, it's just like one eye's kind of cocked and kind of squinting.
So
like,
cool.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. She's thinking, this clock hasn't been used for years. Who'd want to start its old ticker up again? Better take a look. And she goes in through the number 2, which I liked. And she's like, must be some kid's prank. It's him, Mickey Silk. And then he's like, Spider-Woman. And then Spider-Woman and Tigra meet. And Jess is like, who are you, supposed to be a cat lady? Tigra's like, who are you to talk? The name's Tigra. And this kid's under my protection. Jess like, well, he's a runaway and I'm bringing him in. Tigra says, yeah, you'll have to get past me first. And then they start battling.
This isn't a rule when I'm drinking. Whenever 2 superheroes meet and fight.
Yep, I agree.
So yeah, this gets pretty slight here, but man, Postman and Del Rosa get to really flex these last few pages. I mean, it's amazing. There's this fight, there's an inset and a big huge punch where Spider-Woman wallops Tigra and she goes flying. It's just gorgeous. She says, Mickey, hide. And then she does this cool acrobatic, like I love Tigra's physicality. Like, Spider-Woman's cool and lithe and she can glide in the dark and all that stuff, and she's strong. But Tigra is always that kind of craven type of like acrobatic animalistic thing. So she's doing this cool backflip where you get this like yellow, like you see her motions animated and broken out frame by frame. She flips this backflip, says, please, let's call a truce and talk. And Spider-Man's like, whoa, she's an acrobatic wonder. She moves better than I do. And I love all these like weird art deco, like the clock in the background, these crazy big numbers that are all around that don't make any physical sense for a clock tower. But they really work dramatically. So she's, charging towards Tigra, saying, what's to talk about? The boy's a pyromaniac and I have a job to do, period. She tackles Tigra and they're wrestling and punching each other. And Tigra notes she's really strong. I can tell she's pulling back a bit. She might not be all bad. And and then she says, wait, did you meet him? Talk to him? Did you judge him for yourself? So she's starting to have doubts now that this is not just a mercenary. Spider-Woman might actually not understand who this kid is.
Yeah, like you said, it's a slight story page, but God, there's a lot of cool action there. I mean, Postman does a really, really cool job. So I have reached out to him. I would love to, get him on for an interview just to talk about the art that he did, for Spider-Woman. So we'll see. Maybe he's excited. Maybe he won't be excited to talk about this. I don't know. But
I was knowing that you reached out to him. I was like imagining in my head like questions I would ask. So I've already got a list going in my head.
Yeah, no, I'd love to talk to the guy. And on the next page, we get something that now we kind of realize is one of Brian Postman's favorite layouts, with the page-length vertical panel on the left, and then a row of panels. This page, we get 3 square panels on the right.
Postmaning.
Yeah,
wow.
He's postmaning.
Good call.
Basically. Yeah, is what he's doing here. And on this long first panel, she's standing on the clock face. And she's thinking, this Tigra, she's a good, clean fighter. I respect that. Maybe that's why I haven't sent her dreaming with my venom blast. Anyway, I'm having too grand of a time just fighting as equals to whip out my ace.
I love this because, like, they're coming out through the whole. So, folks, if you're not seeing this giant clock face, all the numbers are holes. So they're not like black. That's
not a thing. That's not
punched in the face. So they're coming out through the 5, like fighting, falling through the 5 of the clock. So it's like Harold Lloyd's Safety Last, but like with a Catwoman and a Spider-Woman is so cool.
It is really cool. And so I like, and Tigra's kind of, I don't know. I felt shades of Jerry Conway in this. She's like, do you even care about the people you turn in?
Yeah,
totally. You're just another fortune hunter. And Jess is like, I have evidence. Tiger's like, evidence you've seen with your own ears and eyes. And then, so Jess pulls her out pulls her legs out from under her in that final panel. But
can you explain that middle right panel where it says click? Is that just her claws hitting the stone as she lands with her full weight? Okay. It just seemed like that was supposed to be more than it was. So I was confused.
It's a little clunky, but I got it.
Okay. Cool. So we have another action page here of just gorgeous art with very little, just my note just says more great Postman action. Tigra's got her hands and 1 foot on the ground. She's kicking Spider-Woman in the face. She says, or is it secondhand evidence from cops and parents and the eyes of others? Yep. So she's still standing up for this kid. And there's this great middle row here where there's no gutters. It's just one big white space with 3 sequences, like a triptych, where Spider-Woman is punching up and hitting Tigra in the jaw. She says, I'm not impressed with your kicks, pussycat. And then Tigra does this weird, what do you call that kick? When you jump down, do a handstand, and kick somebody with your feet, it's awesome.
It's awesome.
She kicks her in the face, saying, I wasn't trying to impress you. And then she does a weird, backwards kick. Says, and I'm nobody's pussycat. So she's kind of got the upper hand on Jess here. In the bottom right panel, though, Jess brings her spider strength. Pacow, this big, huge, hand-drawn purple Pacow. I'm taking the kid in. And it says, their words say little. The real battle is the silent one, as the 2 fighters reveal themselves to each other by the way they move, by the way they do battle. So they have been kind of negotiating, do you understand this? Do you know this kid's whole story? And she's like, I know he started fires and he's a danger. I need to take him in. So they're kind of saying neither of us are bad guys, but someone's he needs to be accountable. Fair enough.
Yeah, it's fair. So on the next page, Mickey's awake now and he sees the fight going on and it's just like, don't fight, please stop it. And he kind of, freaks out and is running away. The narration says, Mickey Silk withdraws, a sacrifice to his own nightmares. Somewhere, something deep within his brain is triggered and bursts free. Then we get a bunch of those. Yeah, I like you call them long shot pops, because it definitely is. And then, the clock mechanism and the gears and everything. It's not. I mean, that's what it says is happening, but it's not illustrated. I don't know. It's illustrated in a way that doesn't really convey that as much, which is my only kind of beef with the last few issues of this comic. But then Tiger's like, look out, it's happening, and they both kind of get looks like they get hit by a whirring arm of the clock.
Yeah, it's meant
probably
to
the minute hand,
the second hand,
or the second. Yeah,
I think. I mean, but it says click, click, click. I don't know.
I don't think there's a second hand. I think there's just a.
Oh, there would be a second hand on him. You're right.
Yeah,
why would they be moving so fast? Oh, because of his powers.
Because his powers is making the dials probably
I read
spin
this thing twice,
and weird shit.
I feel like there's still some mechanics that I don't get, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of I mean, Postman does a great job, but I feel like some of the finer details, the mechanical details of layout and structure in this comic are a little lacking.
Yeah, and I think it might be due to Nocenti's writing. I don't know if she's just saying he has full telekinesis, so just make the clock do stuff. So it's kind of putting the onus on him to okay, so I have to show that the minute hand is swinging around like a wild pendulum or whatever.
But it's weird, though, because it seemed like the script, I imagined the script from last issue is like an Alan Moore script. Yeah. Like it's a novel.
Very, very specific.
Yeah, very specific. And so I feel like it's weird. I don't know. Maybe Nocenti was, maybe she did know this book had a finite period. I don't know. It's just I know we'll talk more about it in our final thoughts, but comparing this issue to last week's issue there was a big divide. Even the Daddy Longlegs issue, I think, was better than this one.
Yeah. Okay, so we're on page 20, right? So so this motion continues so that whatever that sweeping manipulated clock hand has hit Jess. She goes flying. And she says, I can swing into a glide. So it hits her and Tigra. And she says, and stick to the wall. So she's fine. This doesn't upset her at all. And she turns around and sees Tigra just free falling. She says, but what about Tigra? And so she kind of swings out with her gripping onto the tower wall with her hands and uses her legs to wrap around Tigra's midsection and says, got you now, cat lady. I noticed. Why didn't you just let me drop? Says Tigra. And then we get another one of those weird Beyond the Valley of the Dolls panels I love, where it's like there's this, it's white to light pink to darker pink to pink. And they're looking at each other in blues, like profile. Because I learned a few things about you by the way you fight. And because you're willing to fight for the boys' freedom. There must be more to this than I know about. So it's like time stops. And then it starts again. And they're like both hanging on to the clock tower, and saying, "Well, now you're talking. Look at that clock. The kid's doing that with his mind. Only he doesn't know how or why. Yeah, he's just a poor, frightened kid with a weird power. Talk to him in a few minutes and see if you can still turn him in." So Tiger's still making his case. Like, this kid has no control over all this stuff. So Jess says, "Come on, you'll see." And they run into the clock face again, which again kind of bugged me with this whole thing. Like, it was just going in and out of like one set over and over again.
Yeah, I know.
So they said, well, we'll have to jump through. Can you make it? Good as you can. So they're trying to go past this super spinning, like incredibly fast, apparently. It's like a Super Mario thing. Like, you got to jump past into this hole in the clock face before the hand hits you. Yeah, not a good issue, man.
I know.
Spoil this a little bit.
I know. And then, so on this page, Tigra and Spider-Woman chase after Mickey, who's kind of like sadly cowering on the ground. And Tigra says to Jess, like, as I calm him down, you'll hear the clock slow to a stop. And Tigra goes over and is like, easy now, easy. And then, Mickey calms down. And he's like, I think it's over. And then Tigra's kind of comes off the best out of every character in this, because she's so empathetic and kind, and she's like, look, it seems that whenever you get upset, you affect the objects around you. You upset the forces of nature or something. You have some kind of psychic power that's tied into your emotions. And then Jess says, Tigra, Mickey, I forgot that sometimes a runaway really has something to run from. I'd like to try and help you guys now. So Jess is on board finally.
Yeah, the most striking thing about this page is that the second panel, these are almost all oriented to horizontal. Postman uses negative space and white to great effect. He did it last issue and he does it in this issue. Yeah. Like that bottom row you were just talking about, reading that whole thing. It's just silhouettes of the three characters really small, just set to the right. Like, we're in the distance. So the next page, Tigra's saying to Jess, so you see now that whatever it is, it's out of his control. Jess says, yes, I had a magical mentor once. He knew of many things that have to be believed to be seen. Yeah, I read that right. Things that have to be believed to be seen. He spoke of every time I read this is pickle because it's a soft scan. He spoke of a fickle power such as yours, one born out of the trouble-ridden land of childhood. And then we get this weird panel on the upper right that is the kid on the left, but he looks golden with white hair, and Tigra on the right, both of them a three-quarter profile, and in the background is Jess, almost entirely silhouette with blue highlights. So weird. And she says, he called it poltergeist.
I know. Mickey looks like the Beyonder all of a sudden. Like, I don't...
Or Starseed. And then in the next panel, they have Zippito in the background, and they're both in profile looking at each other very closely, like close talker Seinfeld level. And he's like, I've got a name. I'm not crazy. Please tell me more. And then we hear, ee! And then Tiger says, wait, hear it? The cops. I guess that's a siren.
I guess.
Then Tiger turns on Jess and points her finger and says, are you on our side or what? Jess says, trust me. I'll tell them some kids were playing up here and ran. Trust me, as she walks out in silhouette. So she's going to confront the cops, give time for the kid to leave. And she says, hey, Tigra, Mickey, it worked. No, not again. Every time I turn around, someone disappears. The odds. are impossible. So again, another set of characters at the end of the story have disappeared out of existence. So apparently Anne had a plan. We did mention Morgan Le Fay several times in the last few issues. Since Anne took over, she mentioned Magnus and Morgan a couple times. Mm-hmm. So Anne had a plan.
She definitely had a plan.
She knew she was wrapping things up is to be determined, but there was a plan.
Yeah, there was a plan in place, but she did not get time or issues to carry out that plan.
Yeah.
Which, is a bummer. I would have loved to have seen another. I would have loved to have seen what Ann Nocenti would do with 20 issues of Spider-Woman.
Oh, yeah.
That would have been great.
Yeah, even just another year or, yeah.
Well, that's only 6 issues.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you're right. 2 years. Sorry, 12 issues. Fair enough. Well, they would have been selling so well, they would have gone monthly. That was my point. So
okay, I like it. Yeah. All right,
my optimism, unbridled enthusiasm.
Yeah, well, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. This is not the best issue, not the best Ann Nocenti issue I've ever read. Still have mad respect for the woman. She is a legend and a great talent. I just don't think this issue worked as well as the previous one or the Daddy Longlegs issue before that. I feel like writer and artist weren't completely in sync this issue. I think Postman and LaRosa do an amazing job, but even their talent is spotty in this. It's really strong on some pages, and then other pages, it seems like they just didn't have enough direction. That's my feeling. Of course, I have no one thing to back that up with. It just that's my feeling. I feel like the script may have been a lot more slight than the phone book they probably got for 48.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree. This is a pretty big letdown for me. I think the big beats in the script were Jess goes home. Jess decides to reveal to her lover her identity, and she takes this case, and the case somehow supersedes everything else, and the case is boring as fuck. Like, I don't care. Like,
yeah, I know.
Did this kid ever show up again? Mickey Silk?
I'm assuming not. I mean, maybe next issue.
Like, if Cerebro didn't find him, then Cerebro's garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It was cool seeing Tigra. It was cool. I don't know. Like, I was like doing the whole like Civil War thing. Like, I'm with Cap. I'm with Tigra. Like, I think Jess is in the wrong here.
Jess is in the wrong, totally.
And this idea of like, was Anne trying to make a character called Poltergeist, which literally translates to noisy ghost, because that doesn't work for this character. It makes no fucking sense.
No, it doesn't. But
the film Poltergeist had come out the summer of '82. Yeah,
so it was popular. It's a popular word right now in '83. Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like this is kind of a.
Anne has better days ahead of her.
Oh, she has so many better days ahead of her. Like, but yeah, this is an early misstep from a woman that will go on to have an incredible career.
Yep, she's still around. Not everything's great. In the New 52, she wrote the Green Arrow title, which was almost literally unreadable. I hate read probably 5 trades of it from the library. That's
a lot of trades.
Absolute nonsense. Like, it was like an Ed Wood bad, like where you're like, what the did you have a stroke? Do you understand how people talk, how people interact with each other? It was so weird because I respect her so much, and it's so bad.
That's weird because the last things that I read of her, she's been doing some work for Karen Berger over at Berger's imprint. I think it's Berger Books, and she did a mini series called The Seeds with David Aja.
That's great.
Fucking amazing.
Everybody I know loved that.
It's so good. And that was one of those ones. It was so weird because like I think it was supposed to be like 4 issues, and I have the first 2, and then it just stopped coming out for like 2 years. And then they finished it just by releasing the trade.
Okay.
I don't know what was going on. I don't know if Aja had the health problems, but something happened to where there was like literally a 2-year wait in between. And people, I mean, you know, people can get kind of asshole-ish about that. And I understand like life happens. And I know that shit happens, but it was a really good book. And she has a small story in the latest issue of Moon Knight, Black, White, and Red, issue 3. So, we had Ray on our show like last episode. He interviewed Ann Nesenti last month.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I know. I sent him a message. I'm like, Ray, I know you're a humble guy, but you should have at least bragged a little bit as we're talking about Ann Nesenti. You should have just been like, oh yeah, we talked to her. Me and Rebecca had a little interview with her.
Aussies.
I know.
So humble.
Too humble. Come on, man. I'd be shouting that from the rooftops. And it was a great little interview.
Oh, cool. I'll check it out.
Yeah, you should. Yeah.
I kind of jump around that show. I love the show, but I just I don't listen to stuff I don't know about yet. So I have a lot of Moon Knight to read, so I don't always listen to it in order.
It is one of the few comic podcasts that I listen to like every time it comes out. Them, Marvel by the Month, some of our other friend shows like Gamma Charge and the Mighty Thor podcast and stuff like that. But
you're better than I am. We all know it. It's not
a little bit.
Big reveal.
But I like I was catching up, so I hadn't listened in like the last month to Into the Night, so I didn't realize that until just the last couple of days I was kind of catching up, and I was like, God damn it, Ray, you interviewed Dan Nesenti, like, come on, man, that was awesome.
Whatever. So
yeah, I thought that was really cool. But yeah, it's a cool ass story. So she's still doing great work.
Cool. Well, this wasn't one of them.
Okay, then.
It was meddling.
Can't win them all.
Nope, you can't.
Nope.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
I saw that on a T-shirt, I think.
Yeah, Gretzky said that.
Oh, wow. Good for him.
Yeah. So we also, folks, have this bonus show we do every week for our Patreon supporters, where we talk about a werewolf movie. I'm doing the Urge to Scourge, just covering the Scourge's trail of mayhem through the Marvel Universe of the 80s. And we talk about other stuff like we're reading and what we're listening to and watching. You should check it out. You can go to patreon.com/werewolfbynight podcast and join at a level that gets that bonus show. And we do it every week, like I said, without fail. We love doing it. We do it for video. I edit a video version. There is an audio version if you're kind of strapped for cash, but I recommend the video version. I put some heart and soul into the video.
Yeah, you absolutely do. The video versions are really, really cool. And yeah, like you said, we talk about, normally we talk about a werewolf movie. You've been doing this cool segment all about the Scourge issues that are happening in the 80s. We talk about shit we've been watching and reading. On this bonus episode that's coming up, we've been talking about the quadrology of werewolf films that came out in 1981, and we're on the last one, which is Full Moon High, written, directed, and produced by Larry Cohen, which is much different. The least known, probably for a reason. Possibly.
We'll see.
And it's, not as big as Wolfen or The Howling or American Werewolf in London, but it did come out in 81, which was a banner year for werewolves. So we've been covering that in detail. So we're going to talk about 81's Full Moon High. Matt's going to do his Urge to Scourge, and I'm going to talk about the latest issue of Alter Ego that came out that has a giant interview with Don Perlin, who we know very well, for he illustrated more issues of Werewolf by Night than anyone, if I'm correct.
Very correct.
He is the most prolific of the original Werewolf by Night artists, and he's got some strong feelings. So if you want to hear those, go check out our Patreon, patreon.com.
Honestly. Also another bonus is if you support us at the $5 or $10 level, you get shout outs. The $5 level is the pack member level, your pack brother, pack sister, pack whatever. We love you. We thank you. But if you give us give it the $10 level, that is a Star God level. You are a barbarian deity, cosmic barbarian deity. So we give a shout out here at this point in the show to people like the Star Gods, like Michael G,
Josh Link,
Jackson T. Overstreet,
Ryan from Across the Bifrost,
Mark Nevins,
Eric Hadley.
Those are our Star Gods, and we love them for all of their cosmic barbarian godliness. We have pack members like Tim Tucker,
Brian from Marvel by the Month,
Blake, last name withheld,
Jeff Fitzpatrick,
Caleb,
Ben M,
Michelle from Moonlit Comics,
Rob Haferman,
Russ from Tomes of Evil,
Brad Elmore,
Johnny Turner,
Tony Iupi,
Jared Savedas,
Brink,
Bill from Long Island,
and David D.
Thank you, folks. You make the show awesome. All right, so we have one more episode that involves Spider-Woman. It's number 50, and it's another kind of Jack White episode, but it is wrapping up the Jessica Drew saga, which I feel like since we first started this season on issue 6, we've been kind of following her through her whole run, so we should probably see it to its end, and Jack does make an appearance.
Yeah, he's in there, I guess, a little bit. But yeah, this will be a chance for us to close out the Spider-Woman run, maybe give our overview thoughts of the series, why we enjoyed it. So yeah, definitely tune in next week when we go through Spider-Woman number 50.
All right. And call us for a voicemail at 971-220-5865. That's 971-220-JUNK. You can find us on Twitter at Werewolf Podcast and on Instagram at Werewolf by Night Podcast, separated by underscores. And I'm including a link to the Discord server in the show notes. Join us there and talk about comics, movies, whatever you're doing. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks for joining us this week, listeners. Till we meet again beneath the full moon, furry ones, here's howling at ya.